Hello. Today I want to talk about the quarantine. Do you need to be productive during the quarantine? Kind of. The reality is that now a lot of people have time, and that's a resource that we really didn't feel like we had before. We're all at home and we all have to make do with what we've got. If you're like me or most of my friends, you have graduated college recently. At this point, I found a job and it doesn't start for a couple months, so I still have a gap, but I know that my peers who have also graduated this semester. The first thing you should do is rest, 100%. The shit that you just want to lay around doing nothing, because I think it is important to have it so that you realize that you don't actually like it. But that's a hard one to justify to other people. Between you and me, take like a week off at least. And after that week, you can reevaluate. The second step, I would say, is figure out what the fuck you're going to do. It's always good to consider the fact that you're going to have to probably look for remote positions in the next year or two. If you have a capability of working remotely, then you have job security. If there's one thing that this quarantine has taught me, is that you want to have job security to work remotely, because you never know when the world is going to change. And I think it's all that empowering to know that you could work for any company in the world remotely. While we have this gap in between school and between regular work hours, we have an opportunity to learn new things. It's become more and more evident to me that in the future, probably the most useful skill that anybody's going to have is the ability to reinvent yourself and the ability to learn new skills, because our economy is changing so quickly and the kind of services required are changing equally as fast. You don't need to be traditionally productive. You don't need to be starting a business, selling your shit on Etsy, or doing art, or becoming a fucking world star baker. You don't have to do these things. I think it's more important to start on something that you value. It's not about trying to compare your quarantine to other people's quarantine. Finally, remember how important it is to have balance. Now that we are working from home and living at work, it's very, very hard to separate the two of them, and sometimes you end up doing work when you should be relaxing, and you end up relaxing when you should be doing work. It's a kind of dangerous dichotomy, because you never feel like you're doing the correct thing. To anybody that's been like me in the past and does not believe in scheduling and does not believe in separation between work and rest, just literally create a divide. You don't have to write a novel, you don't have to become a chef, but I think you do have to take the time, take the opportunity to get to know yourself a little bit better and to set some goals. Just kind of gauge where you're at and where you would like to be. What if I just want to play video games for